The EPP-ED Group is the largest political force in the European Parliament and has always defended the interests of the Union and its citizens. Throughout its 50-year history, it has been the driving force of European integration. The founding fathers of Europe, Robert Schuman, Alcide de Gasperi and Konrad Adenauer, all belong to our political family. In the run-up to the European elections, our group continues to fight for the European agenda, summarised into 4 chapters: values, solidarity, growth and safety.
Over the past year, the Union has advanced in many fields despite the financial and economic crisis, and the contribution of the EPP-ED Group has been the most valuable. When it comes to values, the EPP-ED Group places itself in the forefront of defending them. As soon as the crisis between Russia and Georgia broke out last August, the French and European Union President Nicolas Sarkozy acted promptly to bring about an immediate ceasefire and to defend European values.
La Russie est un grand pays, ils doivent respecter des valeurs, des pratiques et des comportements qui ne doivent plus être ceux qui étaient les leurs à une autre époque en Europe.
The group steered the same course when another crisis further undermined the prospects for peace in the Middle East.
Deswegen ist der Begriff des Zahlenvergleiches und der Verhältnismäßigkeit in einer solchen Situation nicht zu benutzen. In einem Krieg muss festgestellt werden, dass es keine Verhältnismäßigkeit gibt, sondern jeder Krieg und jeder Tote ist zu viel, um nicht eine solche Aufrechnung zu machen.
There was no better testimony of the values and ideas that are the essence of the European Union than that of France's president speaking about his 6-month experience in the Union's top post.
J'ai essayé de bouger l'Europe, mais l'Europe m'a changé.
Over the past few months, the world has been witnessing a grave economic and financial crisis which started in the United States and unfortunately rapidly crossed the Atlantic. Its consequences will affect Europeans during this year and recovery will be slow. It is hard to imagine what would have happened to some peripheral economies of the Union without the euro and the established mechanisms of the Union.
The Union acted immediately to prevent major upsets in the economy and to lessen the effects of the recession on the population. The Union's coordinated actions and the euro itself have, in fact, prevented the situation which the world witnessed during the Great Depression of the 30s, when more than half the workforce lost their employment. Today, the world is different, but the crisis is still global.
This is a global financial crisis that requires global solutions. The international financial system, its basic principles and regulations, and its institutions need reform. We need a new global financial order.
The EPP-ED Group was at the forefront of promoting stricter rules for the financial system.
La réalité, c'est que si le libre marché a fait ses preuves, il a besoin d'être accompagné de règles. Ce que nous devons garantir, c'est que les petits épargnants ne voient pas du jour au lendemain leurs efforts anéantis.
A concrete example of solidarity, one of the founding principles of the Union and always defended by the EPP-ED Group, was the immediate response to cope with this crisis, such as increasing the guarantee of saving deposits to €50,000, refuelling banks with liquidity, reducing the main euro interest rates, massive intervention in the markets in favour of Hungary and the Baltic states. A month ago, EU leaders met in an extraordinary summit and adopted a plan to face the crisis within the Monetary and Economic Union and the single market.
Wir haben bisher gezeigt, gerade am Beispiel von Ungarn, dass wir Staaten in Not helfen. Und das werden wir natürlich über die internationalen Institutionen auch weiter tun, so wie wir das gemacht haben, auch über unsere europäischen Fazilitäten.
In a period of a major economic crisis, it may sound a contradiction to talk about prosperity and well-being. Nevertheless, the reality is that over the past year, the EPP-ED took the lead in promoting legislation which eases people's everyday life.
The EPP-ED Group members played a prominent role in the legislative process, and the list of decisions is a long one. the adoption of the Environment and Energy Package and the Comprehensive Energy Plan, protecting our environment for future generations. The agreement on reducing CO2 emissions by 2020, helping to stimulate alternative forms of energy. The passing of the Waste Recycling Directive to improve environmental management. Approving new specifications for the cars of the future. Adopting a significant reduction of airport charges, the slashing of roaming charges and the significant improvement in telecom services, lowering the cost to consumers. The better regulated use of pesticides to protect our lives and the environment. Making toys safer for our children, whether imported or produced in Europe. The protection of teenagers and children from addiction to video games. The Services Directive to complete the liberalisation of the internal market. And finally, the big cultural project of the European Digital Library, launched last November. The EPP-ED Group has also played a leading role in ensuring Europeans' security and safety. When the recent crisis between Russia and Ukraine threatened gas supply to Europe during a particularly harsh winter, the group was there to facilitate an agreement and promote a common energy policy.
It became obvious that we need a common EU foreign policy on energy. Our group, the EPP-ED Group, has supported this idea from the very beginning.
The EPP-ED Group has also pushed for a common immigration policy, which takes into account security as well as humanitarian concerns.
In 3 months, European citizens will go to the polls to make a crucial choice for the union of our future. The EPP-ED Group, the driving force of the union, has kept its promises with strength and determination and has given Europe stability in a critical period. The EPP-ED Group, with members from all 27 member states of the union, will continue to work for the Europe of our future.